Hello, everyone. Today, we dive into the truth behind one of Hollywood's most heartbreaking love stories. After nearly 20 years together, Nicole Kidman has finally broken her silence on her shocking divorce from Keith Urban. For years, they were the perfect couple. Beauty, talent, and devotion wrapped into one golden story. But now, Nicole reveals what really happened behind the glamour, the distance, and the silence. Was it love lost? Or a woman's powerful act of self-healing? Stay with us, because what she just confessed might change everything you thought you knew about love and strength. Their story began in Los Angeles, at an event called G'day LA in 2005, a celebration honoring Australians who had made their mark abroad. Nicole, who had just rebuilt her life after a painful split from Tom Cruise, wasn't looking for love. Keith, already a celebrated name in country music, was quiet that night. Charming, soft-spoken, but clearly fighting demons of his own. When they met, the chemistry was undeniable. Nicole later recalled thinking he was shy, while Keith believed she wasn't interested. But something deeper had sparked. Two souls scarred by fame, drawn together by the hope of peace. A year later, on June 25, 2006, the two married in a candlelit ceremony at the Cardinal Soretti Memorial Chapel in Sydney, surrounded by family and close friends. The media called it Australia's royal wedding. Keith Urban sang softly as Nicole Kidman, dressed in ivory, walked down the aisle. Their eyes met, and for a moment, it seemed the world had granted them the happiness both had long been denied. The photographs from that night painted a picture of forever, love, laughter, and redemption. But as every story in Hollywood teaches us, even the brightest lights can cast long shadows. Just 4 months after their marriage, that perfect dream began to crumble. Keith Urban relapsed into alcohol and drug addiction, demons he had fought for years. He checked himself into rehab at the Betty Ford Center, later admitting, "I almost destroyed everything." For Nicole, it was a heartbreak that arrived too soon. She had barely settled into married life before finding herself standing at the edge of another storm. But she didn't walk away. She stood by him, visited him in rehab, and gave him the strength to fight his addiction. Later, Keith would say, "She was the one who pulled me out of the darkest part of my life." But love that saves can also exhaust. The emotional toll of rescuing someone over and over again left scars of its own. Nicole Kidman, known for her resilience, had faced the fire of fame before. She had survived the spotlight of her marriage to Tom Cruise, endured the pain of miscarriage, and rebuilt her career from the ground up. Yet this was different. This was private pain, the kind that hides behind polite smiles and red carpet glances. To the world, they were the perfect couple. Behind closed doors, they were two people holding on to a love that was slipping through their fingers. As the years went by, their lives began to drift in different directions. Nicole's acting career reached new heights. She became one of the most respected actresses of her generation, starring in masterpieces like Moulin Rouge, The Hours, Big Little Lies, Lion, Being the Ricardos, and most recently Baby Girl. Her ability to transform into any role made her a legend in both film and television. She earned Academy Awards, BAFTAs, Golden Globes, and Emmys, and built a reputation as one of Hollywood's most fearless performers. Yet, her success came at a cost. Long months of filming away from home, constant press attention, and the pressure of always appearing strong. Keith Urban, meanwhile, was conquering the music world. His tours stretched across America, Europe, and Australia, filling arenas night after night. His songs spoke of longing, love, and redemption. Emotions pulled straight from his life with Nicole. But the road is a lonely place, and the life of a touring musician often collides with the stability of marriage. As time passed, the distance between them grew not only in miles but in silence. By the summer of 2025, the cracks in their marriage were too deep to hide. Sources close to the couple revealed that Nicole had spent most of her time in Australia, surrounded by her children and family, while Keith remained in the United States for his ongoing tour. The physical and emotional separation had taken its toll. One close friend told reporters, "Nicole didn't want this, but she feels like she can't anymore. She tried everything to save her marriage." Another insider added, "She fought for years to make it work. But sometimes love isn't enough when two people grow apart." On the outside, they still appeared supportive of one another. There were no scandals, no shouting matches, no public accusations, just the quiet, dignified unraveling of something once beautiful. And when Nicole Kidman finally decided to file for divorce in September 2025, citing irreconcilable differences, the world was stunned. After nearly 20 years, the love story that had survived addiction, fame, and distance had finally reached its end. In private, Nicole found solace in the one place that had always been her refuge, her family. Her sister, Antonia Kidman, a journalist and presenter, became her anchor. A close family friend said, "Antonia has been a rock for Nicole. She's always been there for her, through every heartbreak." For the first time in years, Nicole allowed herself to slow down, to breathe, to grieve, and to heal. When she finally spoke publicly, her words were calm but heavy with meaning. "Sometimes," she said softly, "love means knowing when to let go. We were partners, parents, and friends, and I will always respect him for the life we built together." She admitted that distance had grown between them, a quiet wall, as she described it, and that both had changed. "I don't regret staying," she continued, "because love, even when it ends, is still love." Her statement struck a chord with millions who had followed her journey since the early days of Dead Calm, The Others, and The Undoing. It wasn't the dramatic confession tabloids wanted. It was something far rarer. Truth wrapped in grace. Nicole Kidman's life has always been a balance between vulnerability and strength. From her early days in Sydney, as a shy girl with a stutter who found her voice through acting, to becoming a Hollywood powerhouse, she's lived through every extreme. Her marriage to Keith Urban was perhaps her most human chapter, one filled with devotion, forgiveness, and endurance. And while the ending was painful, it wasn't bitter, it was acceptance. Today, she continues to thrive, not in spite of heartbreak, but because of it. Her company, Blossom Films, produces projects that champion women's stories and give opportunities to female filmmakers. Her performances in shows like Big Little Lies, The Perfect Couple, and Special Ops, Lioness have redefined television storytelling, proving that an actress in her 50s can still dominate the screen. Her humanitarian work with UNICEF and UN Women continues, reminding the world that she's more than a movie star. She's a voice for those who don't have one. Meanwhile, Keith Urban has chosen silence. He hasn't given interviews or statements about the divorce. But through his music, fans can feel the emotion, the regret, the gratitude, and the echo of a love that once saved him. For their two daughters, Sunday Rose and Faith Margaret, both Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban have agreed to a peaceful joint custody plan that keeps them equally involved in their children's lives. Friends close to the family say that despite the heartbreak, they remain united as parents, proving that even in endings, kindness can survive. There are no scandals, no betrayals, no public wars, just quiet dignity between two people who loved deeply, tried endlessly, and finally accepted that sometimes love, no matter how strong, can't bridge the distance that time creates. For Nicole Kidman, the message is powerful. Strength isn't in holding on. It's in knowing when to let go. Through every chapter of her life, she's turned heartbreak into fuel. After her divorce from Tom Cruise, she reinvented herself as one of Hollywood's most fearless actresses. After the heartbreak of Keith Urban, she's turning inward, rediscovering the woman beneath the fame, the one who still believes in love, but now understands it's not always forever. Sometimes, love is a moment that changes you and sets you free. At 58, Nicole Kidman stands as one of the most respected, resilient figures in the industry. Critics hail her as one of the greatest actresses of the 21st century. But those who know her say her finest role isn't on screen. It's how she's lived, with grace, courage, and quiet strength that speaks louder than any script. And as Nicole Kidman steps into this new chapter of her life, between Australia, Nashville, and Lisbon, she's found something more precious than fame: peace. Her journey with Keith Urban isn't remembered for how it ended, but for the grace with which it was lived. Because this isn't just a story about heartbreak. It's about strength, rebirth, and the courage to begin again. What do you think of Nicole's revelation? Share your thoughts below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories. Thanks for watching.